Find your space and connect with your sit bones. So take your attention to your sit bones. Move your knees forwards and backwards. I know you're sitting cross legs, a very small movement, but you're wiggling your hips from side to side. Start that movement with your knees. So sending your right knee forward, and then sending your left knee forward. Very small movements. We're just moving the knees to get that movement in the hips. And as you do that, notice your sit bones just settling nicely, moving, flesh moving, bone moving. Move whatever you have to move to get that lovely connection between you and the surface that you're sitting on. That's our foundation, that's our grounding point. And from there, we're going to be building up, taking our attention upwards. So bringing your attention to your pelvis now, allowing it to be heavy and soft. Let everything sink for a moment. Feel that your pelvis is completely relaxed. Again, feeling that pressure in your sit bones. And from there, we're going to take our attention up the spine. So as you move up your spine, think about a band radiating out from each point in your spine and going around your body, coming back to the middle like a belt. So we're going to be making space in the lower back. And as you do, you're bringing that attention around to the front of your body and making sure that you have space there too. And then we start again at the back, a little bit higher now, almost into the mid-back and around the sides, lengthening through the front. Up just around your bra strap, lengthening the spine, lengthening the sides of your body, and then make sure you have that length in the front as well. And let's come up around your shoulder blades, just between your shoulder blades, the thoracic spine, making yourself have that lovely space, lift, and then around your shoulders, taking your shoulders a tiny little bit back so that your shoulder blades move towards each other, giving yourself room in your sternum and the front of your chest. And then we come up into the neck, so the cervical spine, again, giving yourself space in the neck, bringing your attention to the sides of your neck and then round to the front, lifting the chin slightly, giving yourself space. Take your attention to your thighs and your legs. Are you hanging on for dear life? Try and let go a little. Take your attention to your arms and your hands. Allow them to be really relaxed and comfortable, supported in your lap or on your knees, or down by your sides, whatever works for you. So we have this position here that we're trying to hold with gentleness, but strength. And they can work together. We just have to make sure that our attention is able to flit around different parts of the body, checking in on everything. So we want that settling and solidity in the sit bones, lifting the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Close your eyes if they're not closed already. Take a deep breath in through your nostrils. And as you exhale, emptying completely, so the whole breath comes out and you have space to fill up with a whole breath. So let's exhale through the mouth and inhale through the nostrils. And at the same time, taking your attention around your body to make sure that everything is where you want it to be, just for a moment. You won't be here for very long. Well done. Think about taking that breath right down into your belly. again, we're having to balance, keeping those muscles engaged and allowing that breath to fill.
Kate, we can't hear you.
You're muted.
Oh goodness. And I thought my IT hassle days were over. Right. Sorry if you've missed completely all the very ferocious inhaling and exhaling, which I've just been doing all by myself. Keep going on the inhale and exhale. I think we're all back in the room. Well, I am. I had to just switch my Wi-Fi source. Wasn't behaving. There we go. So we're on our inhale and exhales. And then gently open your eyes if they're not already open, taking your arms out to the sides. Now looking up this time, we're going to look up towards the ceiling. And then when you're ready, taking the arms up and then taking them back down. So as we take the arms up, we're going to inhale. As we take the arms down, we'll exhale. Stretching your hands as far away from you as you can as you do that. Inhale. And exhale. Taking your sternum up high. Letting your head drop back if you need to or want to. This time when we come up to the top, inhaling, we're going to take the arms a little behind, just a slight back bend. Let your breath come to its natural rhythm. And then we're going to tip forward, keeping your head looking up at your hands. So bringing your head forward as you come all the way forward. We're going to be leaning over, taking your arms to the floor in front of you, as far away as they'll go, and then sliding them away. Let your head drop, bring your head so that your chin comes to your chest. Let the weight of your head gently round your back, stretching through the muscles either side. And from here, we're coming up into a tabletop position. So rolling gently forward, bringing your knees to the mat, flipping your feet out behind you, coming into your tabletop position. There we go. So lovely tabletop position. Let's get some length in the spine. Make sure that your hands are under your shoulders and your knees are under your hips. Sometimes that space is longer than you think. We don't tend to have people putting their wrists too far and forward, but quite often they are a little further back than they need to be. So just make sure you give yourself lots of space so you've got room in your back to stretch fully. And then we're going to send the hips back. Keep your attention on your hands. So looking just at that space between your hands, sending yourself all the way back. And then we're going to pivot all the way forward. Well, as far forward as our wrists will let us go. So sending your hips down towards the mat. So lengthening out from the legs behind you, bringing your thighs down towards the mat. And then sending your hips up again before starting that movement back, taking your hips to your heels. I always want to say your heels to your hips, but nope, it's definitely hips that are moving here. And then pivoting forward. So getting some nice movement in the wrists. Sending the hips down towards the ground. Keep your shoulders wide. And then back again. So we're doing a lovely pivot there. And then back. So we're sending the hips back again. Stretching out under the arms. And then one more. Come back to neutral spine. Let's come into cat and cow. Warm up the spine. Taking your belly down towards the mat. Head up, hips up. And smile. Taking your belly button down towards the mat. Give yourself a lovely stretch. Stay here for a moment if it works for you. If you prefer to get going and use your breath with each movement, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, we're just holding for a moment before moving very slowly. We'll go through the whole range together slowly. If that's what you would like to do, join me. As I said, if you'd prefer to get going with your own breath and your own movement, go ahead and do that. So if you are with me, then chin is to chest. Thighs are moving forward towards your elbows. Your pelvis is tucked and curled tightly round, sending your mid-back up towards the sky. And then we start to release, let everything go. And then we start to come into our lovely cow posture, taking your belly button down towards the mat. So slow and gentle movement. finishing at the last end point where you cannot bend any further. And then we start to move a little faster with the breath. So breathe out to send the mid back up, and then in as you take your belly down to the mat. Don't forget the head and the hips. And move with each breath. So when you need to breathe in, start your move. When you need to breathe out, you start your move. So your gaze in cat-cow combination will change. You're going from looking at the ceiling to curling your whole gaze all the way around and bringing it up so that you're looking at your navel or staring at your cheeks. So use your eyes as well. Last 2 rounds here. And coming into neutral, tucking your toes under, and we're going to come into downward facing dog. So taking your hips up towards the sky, heels moving down towards the mat, tilting your pelvis so that your sit bones are angling up, shining out behind. Allow your head and neck to be at ease here. If you have issues with the back of your neck or your upper back, then you keep a little engagement in your head. Otherwise, you can allow your head to just drop and enjoy that inversion. Our lovely first inversion. So let's paddle the legs a little here, keeping your shoulders wide, keeping space between your arms and your head. We're going to be coming up onto tiptoes and really pressing down quite strong, firm into the backs of your toes before swapping around and bending the other leg. So your knee comes towards your chest and you're pressing into those toes, giving yourself a lovely stretch under your foot and alternate. So some people like to go quite fast through this pedaling, and others like to have a nice slow pedal. Do what works for you. Remember to keep your shoulders wide, keep your hands spread out, keep pushing the floor away from you as you move alternate knees towards your chest. Well done. And taking both heels down, back towards the ground again. Looking to your hands. You're going to take the right leg up behind. So lifting your right leg, sending your right foot up towards the ceiling. 3-legged dog. Try not to let your hips move out of line. So your hips are in line with each other. Right leg is up towards the sky. And then we're going to bring that right knee into the chest. Everything else stays the same, just the knee coming in towards the chest. And then look towards your hands. And we're going to flip that right foot forward in between your hands. Coming up to standing. Bring yourself into warrior 1. So hips are still facing forward, exactly where they were. We're going to bend that front leg. Lovely. Well done. Very nice. Sink a little lower maybe, if it works for you. Try not to open out the left hip, keeping your shoulders wide, belly engaged, lifting your chin slightly. Remember to breathe. Well done. We're coming from here into our warrior 2. So let's ease off, straighten the legs, take the arms out to the sides. Right leg is still forward. When you're ready, bringing your chin to your right shoulder, and then let's slide forward by bending the right knee again. So you're in this lovely straight line. Well done. And you sink a little lower. Do you have a little bit more strength in that right thigh? And then we're going to take the left hand down, right hand up. Pointing up towards the ceiling, stretching up. Feel that stretch coming from your right hip bone. And then coming back to center, taking the right arm to the right thigh, and bringing that left arm over now for a lovely left side stretch. Slide yourself forward a little on that right knee. Get that straight line from your left ankle to your left hand. And then we're going to take the left hand down, coming back up, arms out, back into the starting point of our warrior two. And then straighten. Straighten both legs, come into our lovely starting point for our Trikonasana or triangle. We're going to take a slide to the right, and then the right hand comes down, legs are straight. So Trikonasana or triangle, hand is resting just inside that right leg, both legs are straight. If you need to, you have a little rest on the right leg. Otherwise, keep that tension in your torso, and you can turn your head to look up. If that doesn't agree with your neck, just look forward. And then we're coming up. So remember, somebody's holding your hand, they're lifting you up. Come all the way out, hands to hips, and let's rest in Prasarita Padottanasana. Folding forward, slow fold. Here is a beautiful opportunity to think about how your hips feel a little different now. Maybe give them a rock from side to side. Your legs have been doing different kind of work. So the left leg will now be doing what the right leg just did, but they might feel a little different. It's just fun, it's interesting, it's a good habit to get into, to notice how your body feels. Being observant of your body, your mind, and your spirit. So a nice inversion here, let your head go, let your neck go. Giving your heart a little change of scene, working upside down. So we're still rocking in the hips, very gently pushing from side to side. Allowing things to come back into balance. And then staying central just for a moment here. Give yourself a wiggle. So we're going to wiggle the hips from side to side. Release your hands. Let them hang down wherever they come to. A shake from side to side. So shaking the hips. And come to being still again. We're going to walk the hands in, walk the feet in. So we're coming into Uttanasana, easy forward bend. And then we're rolling up. Nice slow roll, well done. And it's inhale, the arms up. On an exhale, a little bit of a back bend. Little counter pose. You can clasp your thumbs around each other, bring your breath into an easy, relaxed breathing pattern. Coming back up, pointing up towards the ceiling. And releasing your arms down beside you. Sliding your hands down your legs. Slowly coming back into our gentle Uttanasana. Sending your sit bones up and out behind you, and walking your hands forward, coming into downward facing dog. So here we are back in our lovely downward facing dog. This time we're going to rock the hips from side to side. We're not pressing down into the toes particularly, but your right foot will lift a little as you lean over to the left as much as you can without falling over. Please don't do that. And then we move over to the right. So we're putting all of our weight into the right foot and right hand. The left hand comes off a little, maybe just the fingertips are on the floor. Same with your foot, just your toes, and then rocking over to the other side. Go to the point where you think, oops, I can't go any further, I will lose it, and be there, and then come off. Woo! You'll know where it's safe for you to go to. We're just rocking the whole body from right to left and come back to settle in the middle. Shoulders are wide, remember, lovely strong shoulders here. We're not collapsing into them, we're pushing the floor away. Strong, strong shoulders, long back, strong hips. And then we're taking the left foot up behind, keeping the hips level still. A little bit of balance here. Breathe. Left foot is up, three-legged dog. And then looking to your hands, bring that left knee in, nice and tight. Bring it right into your chest. Squeeze into your chest. Wake up your glutes here. Wake up your core. And then looking to your hands, we're going to flip that left foot forward now. I'm going to come around this way. So left foot forward. And then we're coming up into our warrior one. There we go, warrior one. My foot does not like that. There we go. Let's bring the hands in and the arms. Give ourselves a little bit more weight to deal with. Another opportunity to think about what's happening in the chest. Lifting, stretching through. Can you sink a little lower? Remember, our shoulders are wide here as well. Hips are in line. Warrior one, very strong. And then we're coming away. Slowly use the strength in your legs. Warrior two. Give yourself space. Sinking down. Left shoulder is where your chin is, but shoulders are not raised up. Holding that warrior two. And then taking your left hand down. Oops. Yep. Left hand actually goes up. Right hand is coming down. Sure you all can remember the sequence. So hopefully that didn't put anybody off. Reaching up. Lovely stretch. And then we're going to switch that stretch. So left arm onto your left thigh. Right arm up and overhead. Think about what's working hard here. Breathe, lovely, deep, strong breaths. Sink a little lower with your hips, if you can. And straightening up. Coming into your Trikonasana. Your triangle set up, sliding to the left, tilting over. The left hand is coming down towards your left shin, left knee, right arm up towards the ceiling. Beautiful stretch in the right, squeezing into the left. Hips level. And then we're going to come up. Remember, somebody's holding your hand, lifting you up, coming over to the side. Hands to hips and fold. Come halfway. Let's lengthen now from the crown of your head to your sit bones. Try and make that whole section of your body completely engaged. We're stretching out the psoas muscles and the tops of your thighs, working muscles deep into your pelvis, and then relax. And here we have a beautiful inversion. So let's take the hands to the lower back, just rest them very relaxed on your lower back. We want the arms up, head down. See if you can ease your neck, ease your shoulders, remove any tension. As you're here, exhale fully with each breath. A slight bend in your knees, lifting your kneecaps towards your hips. As you breathe in, feeling your chest expand. As you breathe out, feel a sense of letting go. Release any tension in your face. Allow your cheeks to relax. Soften, closing your eyes if you can. A little bit of balance challenge. And then we're slowly uncurling. Coming all the way up. Very nice. When you come all the way up, bringing your legs in, bringing them together. Gaze is low, keeping your neck extended. The gaze is at your big toes. Lift your toes off the mat. All your toes off if you can. Bringing your toes, moving up towards your face. Feel that engagement in the fronts of your feet, up into your shins, and relax. Let's come up onto toes. If you can bend your knees at the same time, we're coming up onto toes with legs bent. Need some serious balance here. And then coming gently down all the way. If you're not on toes, that's fine. You're just coming into a gentle squat. If you need to adjust for your knees, go ahead and adjust for your knees. Coming into a squat and then taking your legs a little wider. So knees are wide. If you can, if it works for you, bringing your hands into Namaste Mudra, bringing them towards you. And then we're going to just slide the hips from side to side. If that isn't a good one for you, then you're staying. Yep, well done. Notice what's happening. Notice what works. And do what works. Some nice opening in the hips here with some movement. So dynamic opening of the hips. It's a lot of work on knees, so just being very respectful and mindful of what's good for you there as well. And then taking your hands to the mat, bringing yourself into a balasana, child's pose, point of relaxation and rest. Lengthen through your body. So when your knees are together, your legs are together. Lengthen and lay your torso down on your thighs. Try and keep your hips to your heels. And then reach forward. Let's get a stretch under the arms here. So edging your fingers forward, walking them forward. Forearms are off the mat. There's quite a lot of tension there in your back, across the top of your back, in your upper arms. We're doing a lot of things here. We are massaging into the internal organs. We are closing off the lymphatic system to the legs a little by squeezing into the groin there. And we're opening up under the arms, another important area of the lymphatic system. Lots of lymph nodes under your arms, bringing our attention and our gratitude to that area, much neglected. We tend to not look after our underarms very well in our culture. They deserve a lot of care and respect. Very, very important part of the body. And then taking your arms gently to rest on the mat. And if you feel like it, taking them behind you. Do what works for you. Keeping your chin to your chest. Slowly start to peel the torso away, rounding in the back. Chin stays to chest. Bringing yourself up to sitting, straightening through your back. And then the last thing to change is that your chin comes away. And let's look up towards the ceiling. We're sitting back on heels, up towards the ceiling, and then send your chin up. Let's stretch through the front of the body again. Jutting your chin up towards the ceiling. And release, coming back to center. We're going to come into a lovely twist here. So let's slide to the left, legs to the right. Leave your left leg where it is. And we're going to bring the right leg over, if that is possible, keeping the right knee high. So hold on to that right knee. If that's too much of a twist, then just bring your foot in front. If you can, it tucks around. So both sit bones on the mat, please. No sitting on your heel, although that does feel a lot easier sometimes. And keeping that foot tucked in, touching, but not being a prop. So sit bones both on the floor. Don't worry, you'll feel like your left sit bone is more onto the floor because more of your leg is onto the floor. So hanging on to that knee, pulling it along. I don't know about you, hopefully you can feel a nice stretch going on in there already. Then pulling into that knee, trying to bring the knee pointing up towards the ceiling. And breathe. Take your shoulders wide, lift your chest. And we're going to turn over to the right. So right arm releases out. I've left myself no space. So we're still holding on to the right knee with the left hand, drawing the right shoulder back, walking the right hand behind you and twisting around. We're going to twist both sides. With the same leg, so we'll have 4 twists. Think about how you feel when you're doing a twist. They're one of the postures that people often say they find irritating. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of resistance in the body to so much opening all at once. Especially if you practice yoga once a week or once every 2 months. So looking around, don't forget the eyes, and then release. Release your head, release your shoulders. Let's stay with this leg. Stay in this position. So this time we're holding on to the right leg with your right hand, and we're going to lift the shoulders, lift the sternum. Think about that lovely length there. And then we're going out to the opposite side. So legs stay the same. And if you have your right foot crooked over your left knee, you can use the right arm on the inside edge of your leg to give you a little bit more purchase, to give you a little bit more push, if you wish, if it's safe for you to do so. Keep a firm foot, that right foot placing down onto the floor firmly, and using lots of strength in your right leg to not move the leg with your right arm. Twisting and opening, eyes. Length through your spine, crown of your head up towards the ceiling. And release. Which version did you prefer? Was there one? Let's do the other side and have a think and see what happens on this side. So give that right leg a little time to settle. Might feel a little strange because you've been in quite a strong posture. Let it settle for a moment. Sit bones on the floor, and that left foot ready to move now. Right foot tucked in. So you're sliding just over or inside. Whatever works for you for today, for now. Up tall. So we're going to go to the same side that we were just on. So we're going to be using our right arm on our left leg to hold. Left arm comes up and round. Keep that height so that you open up fully. Twisting around to the left again. And again, don't forget your eyes. Beautiful opportunity to give them a little bit of exercise. So many studies showing that exercising your eyes properly is hugely helpful to maintaining good eye health as you age. Can that left shoulder move around any further, giving you a little bit more opening in the chest? Breathe. And release. Eyes, head, neck, shoulders. Keeping your legs where they are. We're going to go over to the right. So here we go. Make sure that both hips are on the floor still. And you're either holding on or you're going to push in and move around by using your left arm now, pushing into your left leg. Left leg has to be very strong here. Try to notice if you are tilting or tipping. If you are, think about pulling the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. See if you can help that way, getting a little bit more of a straight line. Opening that right shoulder out. Turning the head. Eyes. Stare like a crazy lady. And breathe. And release. Eyes, head, neck, all the way back. Come back to center. Take your legs out wide. Give them a wiggle. Let's take the knees up and down, either at the same time or alternate legs. Up tall, sliding the right arm down the right leg. Just a very simple side bend now, taking the left arm up. Trying not to turn your torso towards your leg, keeping the torso towards the front of the room or towards me. Bringing your right arm down, either onto your right leg or on the inside edge. Lovely stretch from your left hip upwards. And then lifting up and out, coming over to the other side. So not staying in there very long. We're going to come back into that. So we can do 2 short ones. Watch out for that floating right hip here as you come over onto the left side, stretching in the right. See if you can try and feel some pressure into both sit bones. Breathe. And now we're moving again. We're going to go over to the other side. Maybe you'll get a little more stretch. Maybe you'll notice something a little different. Maybe you'll notice parts of your body that you hadn't noticed before. Try to keep your chest open. We want nice. Still have that length in the front of the body. We're not curling around. And then lifting up. Well done. One more time. Over to the other side. You feel like a pendulum. Making a nice breath in to come out. And then both hands sliding down. Right hand, right leg, left hand, left leg. And allowing your body to fold forward. Nice, easy fold forward. Don't worry about the range of movement here. We're looking for a really strong connection along the bottom of your pelvis and the floor. Adjust if you need to, as much of the backs of your legs onto the floor as possible. We've done quite a lot of hip opening. We had our warriors, that does a really good job of opening hips. We were into Trikonasana, we were into downward facing dog. We've done a nice little bit of twisting, which also helps. So see where you get to with folding forward. Stretching out into the backs of your knees, into the backs of your thighs. Relaxing your feet. Try not to hold any tension in your feet. And we're going to ease off now, so slowly bringing yourself back. Use the backs of your legs, pressing your heels down into the ground to bring yourself up to sitting. And let's bring the legs forward. So nice Paschimottanasana. We're going to inhale the arms up, strong inhalation. Looking up and exhale, folding forward, bringing your toes back towards you at the same time. Let's lengthen through the backs of the legs. So Paschimottanasana, let's relax here. Let's hold here. Let's fold here just for a moment or two. Breathe easily and move with each breath. Let's be dynamic in our Paschimottanasana. So as we inhale, still maintaining that length in the spine. As we exhale, bringing the chest, the torso towards the thighs. Feeling like you're flattening out the whole of the backs of your legs. Flattening out, lengthening, stretching the whole posterior chain. From the tips of your toes, down the backs of your feet, up your Achilles, into your shins, or calves on the other side, aren't they on the back there? Calves, backs of your knees, backs of your thighs, into your hips, to your lower back and your mid back and upper back, all the way up your neck, into the back of your head. And well done. Now coming slowly up, let's uncurl. Well done. Sliding your hips forward, making sure you have enough room, bringing your hands around, give yourself a hug. Take your heels off the mat if you can, so you're having a little balance there. Squeeze in, give yourself a lovely hug, forehead down towards your knees. Now we've had a lot of forward movement and forward folding. So we're going to do a little bit of counter pose here, rolling down towards your mat safely, bringing yourself down to lying on your mat. Take your hands either side of your body, palms facing down, fingertips pointing away from you. Bring your feet down to the mat. Press them in as firmly as you can. So your feet are just by close to your fingertips there. And then we're going to press in. We're coming into a lovely counter pose. So we want to send a bridge up towards the sky, sending your hips up. So hips lifting up, squeeze your glutes. Play with this. If you love to lift one leg and then the other, go ahead and do that. If you love to come up onto tiptoes, go ahead and do that. If you like to support under your hips with your hands, go ahead and do that. Do whatever you need to do to make this bridge your own, your bridge. Do what works for you. We're having a counter pose to all of that forward folding. So really enjoy it. Enjoy that curl in your lower back. If you're feeling very extreme, you're welcome to turn this into a wheel. Don't forget to squeeze those glutes. Send the points of your hip bones up towards the sky. And then we're going to release. Lovely and slow. If you've folded your shoulders under, lengthen them out to the sides again. Bringing yourself back down to the mat. Bring your lower back flat to the mat as much as you're able to. Still pressing into your feet. flattening down, allowing your lower back, the whole of your back, to be on the mat, and then release. Come into whichever form of twist you love. So bring your knees up, knees over to the side, head in the opposite direction. We've done quite a bit of twisting today, quite a lot of side body work. Working into the side body can be an amazing way of realigning things, because we don't tend to do a lot of it in our everyday lives. We're much more forwards and backwards. A lot of forwards, not much backwards. And then coming over to the other side. So just a quick twist today, because we want to have a little time for our Shavasana. A lovely Shavasana. So twisting onto the other side. Don't forget those beautiful, long, deep, slow breaths. Life-giving breaths. Not just living, but life. Coming back to center, knees back to center. Give yourself a hug. Well done. You made it. You made it here. You did it. You've done it. Fantastic. Bring to mind your sankalpa. Has it changed? Is it the same? What do you need more of in your life? Gentle rock from side to side, and then find your comfort in your Shavasana, your final resting pose for this yoga class, this yoga session that we've done together. Allow yourself to be comfortable and to relax. We'll just be here for a moment. We're going to really enjoy it. Take deep breaths in through your nostrils, out through your mouth. Relax your feet, relax your hands, relax your arms, relax your legs, close your eyes. Relax the whole of your face and your head and your neck. Relax your spine. Relax your pelvis. Relax your chest. Relax your shoulders. Relax your knees. Relax your elbows. Relax your belly. Let the whole of your body be completely at ease. Breathing in through your nostrils and out through your mouth. Softly, gently. Easy, relaxed breath. Allowing space, finding space, recognizing the space that you've made in your body and your mind and your spirit today. Recognizing that we need space. We need to make room. We need to honor every part of us. And we need to make time. Breathing in light and warmth and air that brings life to every cell of your body. Breathing out, letting go. Breathing in everything you need more of in your life. Breathing out everything that no longer serves you. Letting go of the things that you hold on to out of habit, out of some other emotion that isn't serving you. Breathing in, filling up with light and warmth. Breathing out, sinking a little more comfortably into your mat. Now keeping that space, wrapping yourself up in whatever you'd like to wrap yourself up in today. Imagine that you are creating a bubble around you of whatever you'd like to make it out of. Creating a special space around you, and a precious space as well. And keeping your eyes closed, gently coming to lie on your right side. Just enjoying that post-yoga glow, that moment of peace. Appreciate all that you've done for yourself. Big pat on the back. Well done. And keeping your eyes closed, gently coming up to sitting. Bringing your hands to heart center. Feel the palms of your hands and notice your left palm with your right with your left. Where does one hand finish and the other begin? Where do you end? Where do I begin? Pressing firmly in. And then rubbing to get some lovely heat. Tapping them over your eyes, so your palms to your eyes, breathing in and out. And in and out. And with this last in and out, gently opening your eyes and bringing your hands back down to heart center. And namaste. Have a lovely, lovely, lovely day.